online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com. Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms late in the day, otherwise increasing clouds with a high around 90. Tonight, showers and storms likely with the low around 67. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise probably sunny with the high around 90. The meteorologist Kyle Cluck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is right. Welcome back in. We are live here at the Blur Tailgate at Hilton, Omaha. Coming at you an hour earlier than normal. Nick Sainert. No Rico. Rico back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios back in Lincoln. I am joined today by a special guest, KP, Kyle Perry, former Husker baseball pitcher. KP, first of all, what's up? Second of all, former. Are you accustomed to that yet?
Yeah, that sounds really weird, man. But, it's been 6 years of being called a Husker pitcher, so it's nice to be retired. We talked about it.
Yeah.
It's like a nice little weight off the shoulders, but bittersweet deal for sure.
We got the text line open all show long. We'll be here. Us two will be here. Austin, I'm sure at times will jump in, fellow baseball guy. From 12 to 2, 402-464-5685 is the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. Both of those open for you guys the rest of the way here, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. We apologize. The shadows, the sun, everything, not making it the most easy to see all of us. But if you want to see what's going on, maybe we'll flip the camera around and stuff and see and show you guys what it looks like in the Blur tent. People are starting to file in. The game is less than an hour away, the opening game between Virginia and Tennessee, or excuse me, no, Virginia and North Carolina is less than an hour away, starting at 1 p.m., just a block north from where we are at. KP, first of all, let's talk about the Blur tailgate, because this place is awesome. You're drinking a nice cold Coors Light. I got a little mixed drink going as well. We're enjoying ourselves, obviously responsibly, and if you're coming out to Omaha, make sure you do the same. But man, this place is sweet.
Really cool, man. And it's wonderful. You're under a tent, out of the hot sun.
Yeah.
Getting a cold drink in your hand. It's nothing like it. They got about every game you can possibly ask for around here. They got cornhole. They got, beer pong. They got pretty much everything. Hell, they even got a jacuzzi just sitting in the middle here with towels and everything included. So, I probably wouldn't even watch the game. I just show up to hop in the jacuzzi and, have a cold beer. It's pretty cool.
Well, and I was talking to me and Jake Sorensen. We're talking to Eric, the owner. You met Eric earlier, KP. And Eric, said that this is the official, if Tennessee makes the national championship series, this is going to be the official watch party of Tennessee Volunteer Baseball. And so obviously Tennessee, the number one overall seed in the entire tournament, in the entire bracket, they're here in Omaha. They play tonight at 6 p.m. against Florida State. But if they make the championship series, then this place is going to be full of Vols fans.
No doubt. Yeah, it seemed like there was a little bit more traffic over there by the Tennessee bus when I walked up to or drove up to the Hilton back up there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It definitely brings the moms out for their coach, no doubt.
It's gonna be a full show of talking baseball, right? Because obviously we got Austin on the end of the table, who is enjoying some food courtesy of our friends here at Blur Events. But we got a lot of ball to talk, and so as we get folks ready for the College World Series, before we do, we're here from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Doors open daily from 10:30 a.m. to midnight. So even after the 6 p.m. game, if you go check out the 6 p.m., the night game, whatever day that you're coming to the College World Series, make sure you walk on over. Once again, walking distance, 1 block south of Charles Schwab Field, and you can hang out here at the Blur Tailgate till midnight from today through June 22nd. We're on the corner of 12th and Cass Street. You cannot miss the big white tent here on the corner of 12th and Cass Street. This is the 12th annual tailgate put on by Blur Parties here. All-inclusive bar, all-inclusive buffet. There's 18 TVs in this tent on the corner by Hilton, Omaha. You got tons of seating options. You got a hammock. You got foosball, as KP said. There's plenty of options for you. You will not be bored. It's going to be a really good time. All right, KP, let's dive into it.
Plus
couches.
Yeah.
We were enjoying the couch. We almost took a nap.
Very soft.
They got
dangerous
new ones.
Couches.
They had couches last year, obviously, got new ones.
Dangerous.
So they invested in some brand new couches. So you can be some of the first people to ever sit on these couches and enjoy some baseball.
Very
All right,
soft.
Let's dive into the College World Series, because you're a local guy, obviously. As a fan, the College World Series is the greatest time of the year. As a baseball guy myself, this is the dream scenario, and I hope Omaha never loses it, because as I was driving in here at about 9:30, you have all the vendors, all the tents, and then about 10 a.m. the smells start to hit you, and just that baseball feeling is unlike anything else.
And I didn't know this was the College World Series, man. I thought this was the ACC SEC Challenge.
Hey, there it is. Yeah.
No, man, this is freaking special. This is really cool. I mean, it's something that Omaha, being an Omaha kid, this is what the city lives for.
Yeah.
And, as a Husker, I really wanted to get the Huskers back to Omaha and just to see what the turnout would be, just because you see every year how spectacular every year is, and the turnout that the people come and they enjoy the games, and they don't even care who's playing. But so I mean, yeah, this is a special time of year. It's a time where definitely the city comes together and obviously brings in plenty of revenue for the city, and I mean, it's cool to see all the folks from different parts of the country. But I mean, I would like to say that, but I mean, they're all from the Southeast Conference, but no,
which isn't it usually?
Yeah,
though?
I mean, it always is. It absolutely is. I'm just saying, I mean, I wish we could have gotten an Oregon State in there or someone that split up the country a little bit. But no, this is really sweet. Great time.
I mean, here's the thing: when we talk about college baseball, obviously SEC and ACC, I don't want to say gets slept on, but there's so much made about the SEC at times. Well, now here's the ACC. They got 4 teams in. We're going to see 3 of them today.
Yep.
And in North Carolina, Florida State, and then Virginia. I think out of those 2, you're probably looking at the guys or the teams that are more accustomed to this stage. It's going to be Florida State, obviously under all the years under Mike Martin, that they've just been able to kind of consistently come to Omaha. But then also Virginia. Virginia stole it from Dansby Swanson and that Vanderbilt team, I believe, back in 2013. Through all of your years of either watching, attending, playing college baseball, favorite College World Series moment? Because I got one. What is one that you always think, okay, CWS and Omaha, and let us know, folks, on the text line, 402-464-5685. Favorite College World Series moment?
I mean, it's got to be 2018.
Yep.
Arkansas, 1 out away.
God.
1 out away, man. And you got a pop up, right? In the Bermuda Triangle out there, and the plentiful, foul territory you got here at the great Charles Schwab Stadium. So much foul territory. You can hit one that you think is going to be in the stands 10 out of 10 times, and it's going to end up, being a routine pop flying foul territory. But Oregon State final out, they're down 1, in the bottom 9 or whatever it was, and Arkansas can't come up with it. Gives the hitter a second chance, pretty much makes it hurt, cashes in, and Oregon State ends up winning the next day to win the best of 3 final. And I mean, I remember watching that in our Legion dugout at Millard South. We just finished up our game, and it was like a 3-2 game, so everyone was tuning in on this iPad or whatever we had going on, and we saw that, and everyone kind of had a sense that, oh boy, that changes things.
It was bizarre because, and this is going to be a throwback name, because I also love, for the folks that watch college baseball consistently, there's names that kind of just pique your interest that maybe didn't make waves in Major League Baseball or in the professional leagues, but certainly in college made their mark. And like Trevor Larnach comes up, the next hitter for Oregon State at that time. He ends up getting drafted by the Minnesota Twins, I believe. But Trevor Larnach, who had tons of home runs that season, comes up, deposits one over the right field wall, and that's how Oregon State ended up winning that game. It's bizarre just when you think back. Adley Rutschman was so good behind the dish. That was the year that Adley really kind of introduced himself to college baseball, I believe. And I mean, like, as a fellow former catcher, I sat there going, dang, this dude is solid behind the dish, but can also switch hit and switch hit at a high level.
Stud.
Incredible,
stud, man. Yeah.
So I just think when some of my favorite, I don't know if you paid attention to like South Carolina back in like the early 2010s.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that was my sweet spot of like guys like Joey Pancake and Scott Wingo. Christian Walker was on those teams. Obviously Jackie Bradley Jr. back in center field with like out of Rosenblatt. I mean, those are like my ideal wheelhouse of college baseball CWS memories.
Was Whit Merrifield part of
those? Whit Merrifield was part of that team.
Pretty crazy.
I mean, so
stacked.
I mean, it's also fun because like Austin and I, before you got here, KP, we were going through Mississippi State in 2013.
Yeah.
And they had, I mean, guys, go ahead. We'll turn up Austin's mic here.
It was Adam Frazier, Hunter Renfroe from my Royals. Are you a Royals fan, KP?
Oh yeah,
my man. Brandon Woodruff was on that team. There was one other guy I would not have guessed. I mean, Chris Stratton went to Mississippi State, but he wasn't on the team that year.
Yeah.
But Frazier and Renfroe from the Royals made it here at Mississippi State in 2013. And Brandon Woodruff is not a name I would have expected.
I didn't remember that Woodruff went to Mississippi State. Because, like, obviously you have the notable ones, and maybe it's nowadays easier to follow and remember just because we are in our 20s. But it's easier to follow with like, all right, where'd this guy go to college? Where'd he go? Like Madrigal with Oregon State, because you guys faced off against one of those Oregon State teams, right?
Yeah, the very next year in 2019, we had a piece of him at in Surprise, Arizona at the Royals and the Rangers spring training stadium, and it was a really cool experience. I got my first start against them.
Are you really?
Yeah,
that was your first start.
Yeah.
Against Madrigal,
Madrigal, I believe, got picked up that he got picked up after actually probably before the national championship.
Because are you at this point now where it's like, all right, let's reminisce on all the dudes I faced?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I you see a lot of them. I mean, now we're following Povich and Schwellenbach in the big leagues, and so I've been keeping a closer look on the big leagues, and there's a lot of more familiar names that keep popping up. It seems like on a weekly, monthly basis that we definitely face.
All right, so cool. Let's dive into this a little bit, because there's a negative connotation associated with Big Ten baseball.
Yeah,
and you and I talked about it a little bit. And for the folks out there, KP did give me permission. I mean, we can talk about anything. So let's talk Big Ten baseball here, because earlier today, just a couple hours ago, it was announced Ohio State's head coach is moving to TCU to be their top assistant coach.
Yeah.
So you have guys that are moving away from head coaching jobs in the Big Ten Conference specifically and going to be assistants. That's a knock maybe on the conference, but not on the talent. I think those can be two separate conversations, because you look at the conference and the players that are featured in there. And not only has Nebraska pumped out some major league guys, right? Josh Karen is about to go into the MLB draft. Brett Sears has an opportunity, your guy. And like there's Max Anderson and Bryce Matthews, just to name the last couple of years. There's talent in the Big Ten Conference, but something's holding it back. What is it? Is it the Midwest part?
You know, the sad part is I think it all boils down to money.
There it is.
And I mean that's that's the truth about
look at the College World Series.
90% of pretty much everything in the world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I think that's where the Big Ten is lacking the most is the facilities, the stadiums, investing into the great sport of baseball in the Big Ten. And there's so much talent, man. I mean, there was a guy that was playing right field for Penn State on that runner-up team that we faced, and really talented group. And he had just transferred. He was a grad transfer from Wake Forest. I mean, that just played in the national championship game. He was a starter for them, I believe. And so, I mean, you look at the type of talent that's coming in to the Big Ten. I mean, and this goes for anywhere in the country, that now with the transfer portal, now with everybody, jumping ship if they're the backup, and going to these, whatever you want to say, smaller schools, that's a Power 5 conference. And the Big Ten's going to just get stronger as the years go by. And with that's going to come respect from the rest of the country. But I mean, the Big Ten's picking up a lot of transfer guys that are blossoming into great players. And I think the talent is obviously not the issue. And I think that's shown this last year with a 3-bid league. Didn't expect Indiana to get in there, but always happy to see a conference foe get in there, just because of the lack there of disrespect that the Big Ten and the whole conference has been getting in the past.
Well, that's what it is, right? It is disrespect, and we talk about the talent in the conference. You can look at it as guys that also transferred in, but also transferred out. You mentioned Penn State; they had a left fielder who just transferred out to Miami, and like obviously there's opportunities for all of these guys to go to. I don't want to say brighter pastures, because that's not the right frame of reference, but it's the schools that do maybe make a larger investment in baseball. And we have to be careful, because we are in Nebraska, where Nebraska does value baseball.
Absolutely.
And Austin and I have had in-depth discussions of like, Nebraska has this opportunity and you guys had this opportunity. And I felt like you took advantage of it this season to where you could really be the team, the North Star of the Big Ten Conference. And obviously in years to come, you're going to add new schools and new programs in. It's just you wish that maybe the bottom half of the conference could pick up their weight a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. And in my opinion, I think Nebraska should run away with the Big Ten every single year.
Yeah.
Being a part of this many teams, I mean, it's like you said earlier, it was a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, just seeing what we have, and now getting another championship under Coach Bolt, I think should entice local kids to keep coming. Right. It should entice kids in the portal to come join Nebraska, because I mean, the advantage we have when it comes to bringing fans here to Charles Schwab during the Big Ten tournament is uncanny. I mean, it's every game we play, whether that's in the losers bracket or the championship game, is a home game, 100%. So I think everything that Nebraska has to offer, I mean, is super enticing to a recruit, and I've just been kind of looking at that lens as a player for the last 6 years and just seeing what Nebraska looks like from an outsider's perspective. And I think Nebraska still has the same exact things that were so appealing to me as a recruit.
Yeah.
Times 10. You know what I mean? And so I think Nebraska should run away with it. But as a conference, I think with the additions of the 4 Pac-12 teams, I think that's going to entice the conference and probably be a little bit more competitive for those lower half teams that probably need to push a little bit more money into the program.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like either adapt and survive or die.
Yeah.
And that's as cruel and harsh as that sounds, that's the honest truth. And we're not going to call out any specific programs. I think we all are aware of, all right, these are the teams that maybe could invest a little bit more in baseball. What were those things that attracted you to Nebraska?
I mean, well, you just really as a road player inside the conference, you go on the road and you play at these stadiums that look like Haymarket chopped into a quarter.
It's insane.
And it's crazy.
It's wild because I mean, obviously Austin and I were down in Stillwater with you guys, and it was like we go down there and we see how they do baseball, and I think back to like, okay, what are these Big Ten schools? Because we do enjoy to have big picture conversations on the radio and stuff, and it's like, okay, what Big Ten school does it closest to the SEC or to the Big 12 or the ACC for that matter? And it's Nebraska.
No question.
Hands down, it is Nebraska. In fan engagement, in institutional investment, it is Nebraska, which is why that's the North Star. And you mentioned the roller coaster of her career, right? You guys have so much success in 2021. May have gotten a little, screwed. I'll just say it, screwed in the seeding and where you guys had to play. But you still showed up.
Got Big Ten.
Yeah, and that's the perfect example. Is you got Big Ten.
Yeah.
And even this year, you could say that the matchup with the Florida Gators that we'll talk about because they're one of the teams in Omaha is you could also say got Big Ten. And so that's not an excuse. I think it just gives us an opportunity to analyze, all right, what's the reality in college baseball as well?
So here's the deal. I mean, ironically, you think about the 4 teams that are coming in the 2025 season, and Nebraska is still at the top.
Absolutely,
still at the top.
I will say Oregon's made 2 straight super regionals.
No doubt. And I'm just thinking of the things you listed off, right? The stadium. Who does it closest to the SEC? It's still Nebraska.
Yeah,
it's still Nebraska,
yes.
and it sucks that we have to use the SEC as a blueprint as the example, but that's the matter of fact, right? But at the same time, I mean, you add those 4 teams, and still Nebraska lays there at the top of the hill, and obviously not with the previous years of success.
Yeah,
quite. I guess for whatever lack of a better term, but I mean, it's
it's relative,
no doubt, and I think
it's all your fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
Because,
anyway, but here's the deal. Here's the deal, though. Nebraska can take that next step so quickly. It can take that next step so quickly, and I mean, it sounds like kind of like a politician, begging for money, but that's you. I mean, I'm telling you, if you dump just a little bit of money into the Nebraska baseball program, into athletics, and you're already starting to see it. I mean, industry plants. You ever think of those? I was thinking about this the other day. I don't necessarily believe in those, but it kind of feels like the industry's trying to plant Nebraska back into the mainstream. Does it not?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, look at so with that on that thought process, it's that old adage or consistent adage or thought process of like, when Nebraska football wins, college football is better, and when Nebraska baseball has a chance to make it to Omaha, or at least is in the conversation, like you guys were this year and we're in 2021. The fan support and engagement, we saw it in the Big Ten tournament, right? Because even this year when you guys were the number 2 seed, which at the end ended up being number 1 at the top of the conference, like fans show out and you find out whether they're fair weather fans or whether they're closet and they don't really speak their engagement and involvement and excitement until the end. Let's be honest, people will come out and support anybody.
No doubt.
And they'll support football, volleyball, baseball, men's basketball, women's basketball. They don't care. If you're winning, you're going to get supported. And I think that's the case anywhere, right? You mentioned the money aspect, the investment, KP. Obviously, the guys in the locker room know that that's a thing. How much is that discussed? Like how much is that? Not saying, hey, what are you making? What am I making? I just got not that piece. It's the dude. Can you believe this is the way it is nowadays?
It's really not even the payment of players. See, that's the thing.
That's what
it's the investment into the facilities, into the betterment of the program. I mean, it really is. The players, if they're making anything, isn't anything astronomical. And I from what I'm hearing, the basketball players here in Omaha, Creighton are making a lot more money than we ever would.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't. That doesn't get discussed really ever. It's more so if we discuss something like that, it's about maybe upgrading a facility or getting some new equipment that would help the hitters or the pitchers or whoever that may be.
And that's what's fascinating, because I think that's such a big misconception. Is when this whole NIL era began and when everybody freaked out, it was like, man, what if it causes disruption in the locker room? What if it causes this and that in the locker room and players get pissed because this guy's or gal is making more? Like, whatever the case may be. But in reality, it's how can we make the entire program better? Not because if you truly care, especially guys like you and other guys on that roster currently and formerly, like, how can we continue to increase the brand value? How can we continue to leave our mark, winning, get money poured into in facilities like you talked about? The NIL piece, it's great to attract guys. I don't know if you heard Tony Vitello's comment the other day.
Yep.
It lit me up. Because it fired me up, because he was just like, if you're trying to come here and get a payment or whatever the correct terminology was, he was like, don't waste your time and don't waste our time.
Yeah.
And like, that is, I think, such an accurate representation of what it truly is. Because really, get your money, get your thing as an individual athlete. But how can we get this program on the right track and on the fast track to provide, competing for national championships?
Yeah. And I think, I don't even think that's also part of the deal, is that I don't think that people or transfers or recruits for that matter are really looking at what they're going to get paid.
Yeah.
But that is definitely trend. I mean, that's where the trend's going to continue to go is guys are going to start looking into what's in it for me type deals. But and it's the same deal at Nebraska. That's not going to be, that's not our coach's MO. That's not going to be their top interest to try to wave the dollar bill in front of them and see what recruits they can get that way. But certainly when it comes to that part, Nebraska, I would say we are a little bit behind when it comes to that because of whatever reason that may be. I don't know if the athletic director spot had changed that a little bit, but I think that was just, I mean, we were behind the 8 ball to start with because, I mean, NIL has grown to be probably one of the most unthought out things, kind of anarchy type deals where it's just kind of like, here it is, run with it. I don't care what you do type situations that you'll ever see. But I think when it comes to Nebraska, I mean, it's probably got to take a step forward in that matter, but that comes to like the top 1%, of the athletes. And that's the deal.
Not to mention with baseball, the 11.7 deal and scholarships, like there's a lot that I think nationwide, right? That there could be some positive adjustments made to collegiate baseball specifically that would just make the sport better. I think you're finding out, obviously, like high school guys can get drafted, forego eligibilities and go play some professional ball, which is fine. I mean, that's a version of, I don't want to say NIL, but that's a version of, let me get my money up front and here we go. Let's play some professional ball, which is a great opportunity if you get drafted high enough. I think there's also something pure about being able to play college ball.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if your heart's in the right place, then you're not going to be looking for the dollar signs.
Yeah.
And those will come if you have success, no doubt.
I think it's an incredible conversation just because it's changed so much from when you started playing, and whether both on the field and off the field. And I kind of want to dive into that in the next segment of like, how has the game, I guess college athletics, that conversation can change, but specifically college baseball, how has the game changed from when you got there to when now you've left? Because we were briefly discussing it beforehand, and it's changed dramatically. I mean, dramatically with guys, just guys have gotten so much better too. Like you have true freshmen that are truly making an impact day one from the start, and Nebraska guys too. The high school talent in Nebraska is really, really good and is in really good spot. So let's talk about that when we come back. You're listening to the Happy Hour. Obviously, Nick Sainer, Kyle Perry with you guys from Blur Tailgate in Omaha. Blur Events. You can get your tickets online, blurevents.com. Let's step aside. When we come back, we talk about just kind of the change in college baseball. We'll get it from KP Sense and his thought process. We're live in Omaha, 12th and Cass Street. Come on out. Get your tickets once again. BlurEvents.com. We're here until 6 p.m. tonight. We'll step aside. Come right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at KoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Want to contribute to medical advancements and get paid for your time? Join the clinical trial at Velocity Clinical Research. Participants can receive compensation, access medicines in development, and get study-related care at no cost. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. Help shape the future of medicine. Visit velocitytrials.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. When it comes to gift giving, it's all about the wow factor. And let me tell you, nothing wows quite like jewelry. Whether it's a delicate necklace or a statement ring, jewelry makes the right statement. So if you want to knock her socks off, or anything else for that matter, skip the generic gifts and go straight for the bling. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Be a memory for your grandchildren. Among Nebraska adults age 65 or older, 47% report current alcohol use. Drinking too much can cause harm to children, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, you will still be around for your grandchildren. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I don't believe you people.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people? Huh?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Blur Tailgates out here, 12th and Cass Street. It is the happy hour. We're one block south of the stadium, less than 30 minutes away from first pitch of our first game in the College World Series between North Carolina and Virginia. Obviously, Virginia accustomed to this stage. North Carolina it also has been here in recent years, just maybe not as much as we're used to seeing Virginia. All right, Nick Sainert, Kyle Perry back with you. Rico back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. Austin sitting at the edge of the table as well. All right, so we got some comments on the text line. Folks didn't like how we were talking about the Big Ten and how Nebraska got Big Ten and in the seeding. I think there's a lot that goes in to us saying that phrase, right? That Nebraska got Big Ten, because that's not an excuse, KP. No. That's not why we're saying that. No. There is actual evidence and statistical evidence of that facilities matter. Where you play matters, draws matter in the regionals. And once again, we're not going to dwell on the past necessarily, but there was one that we specifically talked about during the break that we want to talk about. And this comes from 3994 on the text line. Is it money, though? They ask. How do you explain the smaller conferences better than the Big Ten in baseball? And better than the Big Ten as a whole, right? Because there's a lot of smaller schools that aren't better than Nebraska, weren't better than Michigan back when they made their College World Series run. But as a whole, potentially, right? Like you think Tulane has made a run. Coastal Carolina made a run a few years ago. Part of that's coaching, but I know you have a lot of thoughts on that, KP, so I'll let you run with it.
Well, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think location's always a huge element to the whole deal. The location, I mean, obviously in Nebraska, it's not warm. It's not tropical year-round, right? I mean, it's not like this year-round. But here's the deal. I mean, if you get a good club here, you get to play in this sort of weather that we're in right now, right? And, but I think money does still play a huge role into it. I mean, nowadays in today's landscape, money doesn't have anything to do with the conference. The conference isn't dumping money to the fans, to the donors of these smaller conference schools, these Cinderellas that we see pop up. And here's the deal. Like you said, regional draws matter. Maryland last year got sent to Wake Forest. I mean, that's there.
As the Big Ten champion.
Yeah, as the Big Ten champion. Was that the number one overall seed, or were they number two?
Wake Forest was number one.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. 2021. What happened to the Big Ten champs that year?
Sent to number one.
That's crazy. Okay. So I think regional draws do have a lot to matter, or do have a huge role to play in this situation, right? And And when it comes to the postseason success of Big Ten schools, okay, look at K-State, right?
Yeah.
When was the last time they had facility updates?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Okay, 2 years later, they're running through the Fayetteville Regional, sweeping.
Yeah.
Okay, and been to the Fayetteville Regional, very difficult regional to make it out of. Okay, but they did say
Great environment.
Great heck
you
of an
were there.
environment. I mean, that
isn't
you
that
want to
when
see the
isn't
blueprint.
that isn't that when you made your comeback? Was your
That
first
was.
appearance?
Yeah, well, it wasn't my first.
For-
It was my
that-
fourth. It was my
Oh.
fourth that year, but I mean, it was like 10 and a half months post Tommy John.
But I'm saying, wasn't it your first appearance since Tommy John?
No, oh no, I
You had
I had
back?
3 or 4
Okay.
leading up to that point because I
Never
mean
mind.
I wouldn't have just jumped. I think I threw 75 pitches that game.
You know, hey, it would have been,
But no, I mean,
gutsy.
tough. I mean, been there. Very
Yeah.
tough regional, especially very tough regional to make it out of, and they went through and went 3-0 and swept it. But granted, they did say before that regional, if Arkansas chooses not to pitch, then they're going to have trouble. And boy, they chose not to pitch. They chose not to hit. And K-State, Jackson Brockett's kids made it out of the Fayetteville Regional.
Yeah.
All due respect to K-State and their program, they got a great deal going on over in Manhattan. But
and that's why you can't blame. I mean, I don't want to say blame. You can't blame geography when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
It goes back to how bad do you want to win?
Yeah. And
how bad do you want to at least give yourself a chance to win?
But at the same time, I think that always goes back to the deal made with the Salt Dogs in 2002, I believe, and on paper, and at the time with the landscape of looking now at NIL, who would have thought it would have progressed that much over 20 years?
Ago.
But here's the deal. I mean, 3 years later, trip to Omaha, and I think it's crazy because Haymarket Park, one of the best stadiums, one of the best atmospheres in the entire country, and that's coming from a guy that's seen plenty of freaking innings in that stadium. Okay, a lot more than I bargained for, but that is definitely bar none top 10 park in the country. I don't know, top 15 maybe, but in biased opinion, top 10.
One of the few natural surfaces left in the Midwest too.
And they do a heck of a job. Kyle and the grounds crew at Haymarket do a great job. But I mean, it deserves better. It deserves better, and I think that deal with the Salt Dogs has held it back because I mean, like I said, it's the Taj Mahal of independent baseball. So for the Salt Dogs, that is a great deal. Phenomenal place to go play if you're an independent baseball player, but in the landscape of college baseball now, it needs a little bit of upkeep and that takes a little bit of money too.
And I think a lot of olds, can we call them olds? A lot of olds are gonna say, oh, the kids shouldn't need facilities. It shouldn't come to Nebraska or Kansas because of facilities. They should want to come to the university because of the university. What's the response?
Well, I'm going to tell you right quick. I'm the first that is going to be piggybacking onto the quote unquote olds.
Oh,
I will.
How about that?
No, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I will jump on that sword. Nebraska is the place. Nebraska, the university, everything that it has to stand for, everything it's there for, 100%. I think across the board. I look at it and I don't even care about the money. Trust me, I was not in it for the money. I am broke as a joke now after my college career that lasted 6 years. But here's the deal. Still, at the end of the day, I would say, why wouldn't anyone want to come to Nebraska? I mean, it's unlike any place. But here's the deal. Post-COVID, online school, I went through a whole freshman year of doing like 15 credits of walking around the campus, gorgeous campus, year-round, snow, rain, sleet, hail, whatever it was, right? Going through the campus to classes. You know, that old-fashioned college experience, if you will, of going on foot to class and then doing the whole student-athlete experience and all that jazz. But and it was great, unlike any other. Wouldn't trade it for the world. But here's the deal: it isn't like that anymore. It's on the computer. Kids aren't getting the same experience as they did when I was a freshman and when you were a freshman in 1972. People aren't getting the same experience nowadays post-COVID, and it's the sad part. I truly look at the teammates that I have coming in, you know, as a 6-year senior when I'm a freshman. And it's not even close to the same experience, and it's sad. Truly, at the end of the day, it's sad. But Nebraska still is that place that everyone thinks it is. But the experience itself, and that's when the landscape of college sports itself has changed so much, right? And I mean, and that's when kids are. I'm going to be online class down in Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to be an online class in Lincoln?
Yeah.
And they're paying me $100,000 every year, and I'm not getting, you know, and that's when those conversations get started, and it's unfortunate, but like I said, I will die on that hill that there's no other place to be other than Nebraska, but that's where it starts.
It's crazy because like we have these conversations about NIL and about facilities, and we get so much of that. What year would you have been in college, the COVID, when I remember getting the email of like, hey, we're moving to all online classes.
It was my true sophomore year it was March 13th.
It was March 13th.
So we're well into the season, 15 games, I believe.
That's right, because you had just played Columbia.
Yep.
Was it Columbia or
Yeah.
it was a blue team?
I have a hilarious personal experience with that whole deal, but I mean it was just really unfortunate. But
It was.
but the
Online
timing of it all
suck.
Yeah, it was rough.
Because like you and I are similar to where like we talk,
Yeah.
we like to talk, and we got outgoing personalities, and like not being able to see people, and I don't know if it was for you guys, like for just the common student, we had to move out of dorms, we had to move out of suites, and it was like, all right, go home, do school, and without that personal interaction, that sucks.
Yeah, and I was off campus at that point, so
Yeah.
I mean it was super weird. It was because we still were obviously paying rent, and
and
I mean at that point no one knew what was going on, and I had just because I had rehabbed my elbow a little bit going into that year.
Yeah,
through the whole fall, and then got super healthy, super feeling great, super strong, and and then started against Columbia, then earned another start against Wichita State, and then we were on our way to go to Wichita State, and we weren't on our way, we were going to the locker room to pack up all our things, right?
Yeah.
Before the bus leaves, and then that's when we had a team meeting that
That's
said,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
all
crazy.
the rumors are true, but weird time, man, super weird time.
It's bizarre. All right, we didn't get to our conversation regarding how the game's changed. Let's do that in the next segment. We'll take a break. We're live here at Blur Events Tailgate, 12th and Cass Street. People, there's a line out the door, out the gate. So there's no door. It's all open around
Place is
here.
going to be packed.
It is. We're about 16 minutes away from first pitch. KP, we got a great view of when that game starts.
I'm excited.
We got
man.
three.
It's gonna
We
be
got
fun.
3 TVs to our left, one right in front of us. We don't have anywhere to be.
Plenty of screen.
Yeah.
Plenty of screen to go around.
18 TVs. We'll take a break. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting. Huge thanks to them for the program. As always, we'll step aside, come right back. Nick Sainer, Kyle Perry, Rico back in our ticket studios in Lincoln. We'll step aside, come right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms late in the day, otherwise increasing clouds with a high around 90. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low around 67. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny with a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cluck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob. What is beer? No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley. What is corn on the cob? Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados, plus Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville, $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. We hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the dads in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I think the plan is to go bigger at corner. You got to have bigger corners in this league because you got these receivers. You got to deal with Ohio State receivers. And I'm not saying small corners can't get it done, but small corners have to be extraordinary, right? They got to jump higher. They got to do things that bigger corners might not necessarily have to do. So, I mean, losing Ethan Nation, it's kind of a blow, but when you got to get down in scholarships anyway, it's not, man. They got to have their best guys, man.
Old School with DP and J.
Everybody's going to focus on his intensities and antics. I think he will be just fine because Billy Donovan is doing well, right? And he's intense as all get out. But how do you think he would transition to the NBA as a coach? And then also, what does this tell you about the Lakers?
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to the Happy Hour.
We were in the middle of our tournament when my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there.
With Nick Sainert.
I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
That is right. A 2-hour happy hour coming at you from the Blur Tailgate in Omaha. CWS, as we get you ready, we're less than 10 minutes away from first pitch. Omaha and the site, as always, for the College World Series. Virginia, North Carolina, getting things started at 1 p.m. Central Time. Nick Sainer, Kyle Perry back with you on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. All right, KP, maybe we should get our predictions in before the official game starts. We got a shorter segment here as we near the top of the 1 o'clock hour. Let's talk about this College World Series, and we'll end it right before we go to break with a pick. Who do you like, right? Because, I mean, you look at the field, Virginia, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, A&M, Florida State, Florida, and NC State, right? Who do we want to talk about and dissect first?
Well, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you from experience, if I was anyone in this field, I'd be afraid of them Gators.
Are you afraid of the hitters?
Oh, yeah. They can hit the ball.
They can
They can hit the ball.
Yeah.
Okay,
time out. I got to ask you.
But
what is the feeling on the mound in that moment? I mean, because here's the thing. KP gave me the green light to ask him.
Yeah, he did. Or I did.
Yeah, you did. You did. How are you just helpless in that moment?
Helpless. That's a great word for it. There you go.
Is it? Because here's the thing.
Like, what do you do?
45 feet to each position player at that point.
Because after the first batter, we're already down 10.
Yeah.
What do you do? How are you supposed to approach that? Just keep filling up the zone, right?
Yeah. I mean,
another one.
How lonely do you feel on the mound?
See, it's not as lonely as you'd think. It's not as lonely as being out there, when throwing a strike is physically impossible.
Because Florida, you know what I categorized it as? And I categorized what Florida does. They swing so violent.
Yeah.
And like in a productive way. Because
very talented group.
There's a way to
group.
swing violence, but still have discipline.
Right.
And that is what Florida did.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that going into it, we're like, okay, these guys have been off their feet for a week.
Yeah.
They're gonna, be taking selfish at bats, looking to raise their draft stock, looking to make their resume look better for the for the transfer portal or whatever with the season they've been having, a game over 500, right?
Yeah.
And they came out and, they worked incredible at bats against Brett Sears. Every pitcher we threw at them worked incredible at bats. And so as a guy, when we're down 7, I went in, I said, okay, the best way to attack these guys is just go after them and let them put it in play. Yeah. Screw the pitch count. They're not going to work at bats if you just attack the zone and get them on swing early. And boy, they were on swing. They were on swing, and they were swinging for the downs, man. It was crazy. Very talented group. There's no surprise that they're here, though.
Yeah, that's what's important, right? Because there's also truth to them just having the raw natural talent.
Yeah.
But there's also something to be said about just playing your best baseball at the perfect time.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, Nebraska played their best baseball to start the year. You guys played your best type of baseball at the start of the year, and that's how you guys got through that non-con, and that's why we were having legitimate conversations about hosting a regional, at least on the radio. Maybe, I don't know what the internal conversation
Vital to a Midwestern team's success is that early non-con schedule.
Because you got to load the non-con.
Yep.
And Nebraska's done a really good job of that.
And thankfully this year our non-conference opponents, they really panned out and really had successful seasons for themselves. Grand Canyon, College of Charleston, they ended up getting the boot.
Yeah.
One of the last 4 out, which was really upsetting to see. When it comes to teams in the postseason that got in at large, but so upsetting to see Charleston, but they really carved out a great season for themselves, and
so Nebraska played their best, and that's why we had the legitimate conversations. Florida, people forget they were preseason number 2,
no doubt,
but 28-27, we come in. We dissected it, Austin and I, down in Stillwater quite a bit. Pitchers, right? Not statistically weren't great. They got some good outings from a couple of guys, and the bats woke up. And that's just a recipe for – and then you throw in the ballpark. Did it feel like a wiffle ball field down there? Because we were sitting up in the press box going it didn't play that big of a part maybe in some of the games, but there were also games where it was dang, the ball is just launching out of here.
The first pitch of the third pitch of the regional was a pump. So I was like, well, maybe they were right about this park being a little small. But, at times I suppose it did, especially when Caglione was swinging the bat. It
119 off the bat.
But still the same thing. It seems like every park's playing that way. So, it really didn't – it literally seems like every park now, especially when it's turf, because I feel like the way they build those is downhill, so it has some sort of draining.
Yep.
So I feel like when you're on a turf field, especially like at a place like Rutgers or Northwestern, it's just super flat around it. Like they just put it in a plot of land. Like it feels like it does this, especially when you're shagging BP pregame.
Yeah.
They hit it out there and it stays on plane.
Really?
It's like a line drive that just that just keeps going. And that's why you see those, hard hit fly balls that probably shouldn't be going
Just
out that
continue
just
to
go
carry.
out. It's super weird. I don't know what the science or whatever.
I had never thought about the drainage systems playing a factor.
Yeah, and I think I first experienced that at Den Hardtog.
Yeah.
Den Hardtog in Lincoln.
One of those February practices.
Dude, and it's like, oh, why is this freaking why do I look like I'm looking up in center field to home plate? And it's like, oh, they got to do it for drainage.
There's also something to be said about just a guy running into one. And I think that's what happened at times in the regionals and regionals across the country.
Yeah.
And we're going to see it this week too, where as a pitcher, and this can kind of go into our next conversation of like nowadays in college baseball or just baseball in general, a guy can make a really good pitch and a hitter just makes a better swing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just kind of got to tip your cap to him.
No doubt. And I think as this is a pitcher talking, right? So when it comes to the game nowadays, it's, you look at the things that, and this also this is really ties in everything we've been talking about together about equipment needed now in the college game.
Yeah.
I've been hearing from, and I've seen now since being in Stillwater, the machines,
spoken like a true former. I've just been hearing some things.
The machines that they're using for these pitchers, because now you got all these metrics, these numbers, right, attached to these pitchers, and that really everybody, hitters, outfielders. There's metrics attached to everything in the game now. Right, but now you got the RPMs, the rate, what was it? The
rotation per minute.
Rotation per minute.
That's what it's called.
Okay, we're gonna teach
Garrett
up the
Cole.
audience on a little bit of a track, man. Yeah. And then you got.
I don't use that stick.
And so you got the rotations per minute. You got horizontal, vertical break.
Yep.
All that good stuff. And so what these machines that these blue blood schools, because they can afford it, are using is you type in those numbers, those metrics into this iPad. And the little wheels, the 4, 5, 6 wheels that go, they will spin it to that pitcher's exact, release point.
Yeah.
Spin. If you got a fastball that rises 18 inches, they're gonna freaking throw you one.
So it's no more. It's not the just, hey, let's gear it up to 90 on the machine.
Yeah, no, it isn't just it will give you the exact. You can set it to the release point. It'll give you the rotations per minute, like we talked about, the RPMs. It'll give you the run, the cut, the rise, whatever it does. The freaking sink, whatever that pitcher-specific pitcher does with his pitch arsenal, it'll give you that. And so the hitters can get a real-life look at what they're doing.
So does that take away the idea of that, all right, let's get one time through the lineup? Obviously, you still have to communicate. I get that part, like lineup, and obviously still got to communicate through that. But does that take away the ability to say, all right, let's get one time through the lineup. This guy can get onto us one time through the lineup, but then the second time we make an adjustment? I think obviously you make adjustments. But has it bridged that gap between their guys are ready to hit? For example, Curlin from Florida, the leadoff guy, because they were probably studying Brett Sears all week long.
Shoot, yeah.
Does it narrow that gap?
I think it does. I really do. I really do think it does because, you look at the numbers, man. We talked about it. Every year, it's going to be like the first overall pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
That signing bonus is just going to keep setting a record every single year.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who you're drafting 1-1, that signing bonus is going to set a new record every year. From the last 3 years, the record in the super regional or the regionals into the super regionals, the home run record has been blasted every year for however many years.
Big Ten tournament this year.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy the way the hitters are swinging the bat first off, and that's a tip of the cap to the hitters. And then on top of it, you got this equipment that's adapting to the game the way it is, and the ability it gives the hitters to see what they're about to see before the game.
Yeah.
So then they're coming out on their toes. They're ready to see what they're going to see because they've already seen it 100 times in the cage.
We got to make our picks because the game is about to commence. We got North Carolina, Virginia starting up here early. 1 p.m. Tennessee, Florida State tonight at 6 p.m. Tomorrow at 1, it's Kentucky and NC State, and then Texas A&M and Florida. That A&M Florida game is probably the one that I'm most excited about just in general. Obviously, your former teammate, my buddy Logan Foster, Went to Texas A&M prior
Shout
to
out
Nebraska.
Foss.
Shout out to Foster. We should have brought Logan out here.
He just texted me, actually. He was telling me I sound depressed on here.
Well,
but I was like, well, I'm just trying to stay professional here.
I don't know if he's coaching summer ball. He was coaching spring for Waverly.
Yeah.
Logan Foster. I talked to him back when they made it to state tournament at Warner. But nonetheless, anyway, Logan Foster, shout out to Lofo. But anyway, so let's make our prediction. The team that's going to be standing on the top, because we got to make it before any game starts.
Well, this game one, I'm going to say 11-4 Virginia.
Oh, 11-4.
That's just going to be a score. But overall, I got Kentucky. I think they
the first timers.
I mean, they will nickel and dime you. They will kill you with paper cuts. That offense, and they got a stingy pitching staff, and I think that's gonna go a long way, especially at this park and this atmosphere and what's at stake. I think if they win their first one, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I want to talk about the ballpark when we come back. Tennessee's obviously the most complete team, our number one team, I should say. Tony Vitello searching for his first title. If Braden Montgomery and A&M didn't get hurt, I was going to lean A&M. How do I go against Florida, though?
I think well, see, here's the deal, because A&M had Braden Montgomery hurt.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. They're such a deep team.
Their guy came in and hit grand salami.
Braden Montgomery is a top 10 pick, no doubt. But here's the deal: is they got such a deep team, they got such a talented team.
Yeah,
they can plug anyone in and just be the Cinderella man for that team this tournament. And all they need to see is a glimpse of hope. But here's the deal: if Florida comes out and they swing it the way they have been, it's going to be hard to bet against.
Here's the thing: Kevin O'Sullivan, in his 18 years, I believe, has made 14 College World Series. He's incredible. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Florida because I also just think that there's something about playing your best baseball at the right time, and they are. They're getting help from their pitching staff. I don't know if you know this, KP. I'm not trying to make you depressed here.
No.
There in that second inning against them the second time around when you guys were facing the pitcher. He was 0-5 on the season, I want to believe. A guy that, I mean, he lived around the 92, 94 miles per hour. 18 straight fastballs. The entire second inning did not throw anything other than a fastball. So here's the thing: if that's a thing that's going to work, I'm going to say Florida.
Well, here's the deal, Nick. You ever hit a 94-mile-an-hour fastball?
Hey, you know what? There was a guy I faced in high school, KP. I'm not saying it's easy. Sam Wubbles, do you remember that name at all?
Yeah.
Wubbles threw about 95,
Grand
96.
Island, Kearney, where was
Hastings.
he from? Hastings. There you go.
And ended up going to Kentucky as a right fielder.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that's not why I said that at all, KP.
No, it's definitely not easy, but
it's unfortunate.
But I mean,
I'm saying if that's going to be effective,
no doubt, no doubt, and clearly they must not have seen enough fastballs on the on our machine.
Unfortunately, not.
Hey.
They
say hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sport, and I'm a firm believer on that.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. All right, So I'm gonna go with Florida.
I like that. I mean, it would be nothing better than to lose the national champs. If you're going to lose out of the postseason, that's what every team asks for when they get kicked out.
Once again, if you're just now joining us and going, dang, Nick's kind of cold blooded, bringing that up. KP gave me the ability to.
He said, fine. Very talented team, and they're hot at the right time, like you said.
Thank you.
I mean, it's how it goes in baseball.
I need to cover my behind.
Good. You're good, brother.
Nah, we're good. All right, let's take a break. KP taking Kentucky. I'm just going to take Florida. I think Florida gets it done in the College World Series. Let's talk about the ballpark because you've played in Charles Schwab a lot. When we come back, we enter the 1 o'clock hour right after this from the Blue Tailgate out here, 12th and Cass Street, 1 block south of Charles Schwab Field. Step aside, 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about versatility today. Unlike flowers that wither and die or chocolates that disappear in a heartbeat, jewelry is the solid move here, guys. Yes, she will cherish it, but more important than anything, she will brag about it and brag about you. And that's what it's all about. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Gaina Trucking is hiring for heavy equipment operators and a heavy equipment mechanic. Working at Gaina Trucking is a great career with excellent team culture, with benefits package including competitive pay based on experience, health, vision, and dental insurance, and a 401k plan. If you're looking for a new job as a heavy equipment operator or mechanic, apply online at GainaTrucking.com or call 402-794-5000. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel's specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
The highlight of the first segment easily was Jake being concerned about the sand that would need to be brought into Memorial Stadium if they played soft.
It's for the optics here. It just looks better with sand.
So do you think the infield is just sand, Jake?
I'm wrong with you.
It's not sand.
It looks better with the sand look on it.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I think the plan is to go bigger at corner. You got to have bigger corners in this league because you got these receivers. You got to deal with Ohio State receiver. And I'm not saying small corners can't get it done, but small corners have to be extraordinary, right? They got to jump higher. They got to do things that bigger corners might not necessarily have to do. So, I mean, losing Ethan Nation, it's kind of a blow, but when you got to get down in scholarships anyway, it's not, man. They got to have their best guys, man.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, the College World Series officially underway here in Omaha, just going on a block north of where we're sitting here, Virginia and North Carolina. Virginia gets their leadoff guy on base via a walk. All right, KP, one of my favorite things to just kind of hound on the radio, free passes and how they kill baseball teams.
It's terrible.
Talk
Did
about
he just walk the first guy?
Just walk the first guy. So this is what I'm saying, because, like, I'm so excited that you and I got to do this show because here's the thing. We get to talk about, like, the evolution of baseball.
Yeah.
And hopefully people don't know that I'm an idiot. I mean, here I am. But what's up, buddy? How we doing? We're on the radio, my man. You want
Coca-Cola?
You got to go up there for the Coca-Cola. We're not the bar. There you go.
It's better than a 50-year-old asking for Coca-Cola.
That is true.
That's good.
Yep. He had the little kid had his shirt off just a moment ago. He put his shirt back on. He dipped in the cool tub. That's why I'm saying.
Kid's here to party.
So yeah, he's ready to go.
Love it.
Get ready with the Coca-Cola. Ready at 1:13 p.m. Here we go. Anyway, let's talk about the evolution of baseball because I'm so pumped. And Rico can chime in because I know he's sitting back in the studio. He makes fun of me all the time because I talk about it so often where it's like you can weather the base hit. Come on, man, get the stuff. If you allow a walk, that's where the problem is, right? If you allow a walk, 2 straight walks, let's say that base hit. Well, base hit scores one. It wasn't the base hit that hurt you.
Well, Coach Childress always used to say that, leadoff walk scores 100% of the time.
Wow.
I mean, it's like this guy's going to score, no doubt.
Yeah.
I got no doubt in my mind he's going to score. But baseball's the same old game, man. It is. At the end of the day, baseball's baseball, right?
Yeah.
But man, it has changed a lot, no doubt. Just in the littlest ways, right? Yeah. But it has changed a lot, and there was a little while there where it was like the pitchers were dominating.
Yeah.
But now it seems like if it's even, then it's even. But it almost seems like it's kind of turned the tides where the hitters kind of have an advantage, and that's just been what I've been seeing. Yes. From the game overall.
Let's talk about it in this ballpark, right? Because the narrative about Charles Schwab back when it was TD Ameritrade was that it feels like a big league ballpark. Hitters don't have the advantage. There weren't a whole lot of home runs. Pitchers had the advantage in that ballpark. I think even just in the time that you were in college, that has drastically changed because that's why you see some teams where, all right, if your pitching is serviceable enough, and you can hit the ball consistently 1 through 9, you're going to be able to compete at this ballpark.
Well, and after seeing Gabe Swanson and Josh Caron treat it like a freaking wiffle ball park, I'm expecting a lot of home runs in this tournament.
How have you seen overall the game change, right? Like, what are some of those aspects of it to where, you said baseball's baseball, like, right? First pitch strikes are important, establishing a fastball. From a pitcher's point of view,
just from a guy that sits in the dugout for 90% of the time, when it comes to watching baseball and being on a team, it's like it seems like there were so many more home runs. My freshman year, it seemed like a home run, and that had to do a lot with the team. But it seemed like a home run was scarce. It was rare.
Yeah,
it was a celebration when you hit a home run, and now it just seems like the ball's flying out at a ridiculous rate. And I think that's, I'm not big on numbers, but I think that's probably statistically true, right, Nick?
Well, it is, but I think also it's not
baseball is getting juiced. It's not the bats. I think. I mean,
I would love to get
like,
down to what it
I
is.
would love that because I truly think it's the dudes.
The game, I don't think has changed. It is the results
Yeah.
of balls put in play. Clearly,
I think it's the guys that have changed. Like I think you have guys that are freshly out of high school launching balls, 114 off the bat consistently, or 100 plus off the bat consistently, and in any level of baseball, but especially anything below professional baseball. If you keep doing that, eventually the results are going to happen. You're going to get out every now and then, but like they're eventually going to fall. You'll get a kick out of this, KP. So I'm not even sure if you know this. I do a little bit of baseball lessons on the side.
Sure.
By the way, if you're interested, let me know.
Oh yeah.
But nonetheless, I had this guy come up, this kid and his dad, because this is a youth sports conversation here, had to come up to me and say, and I think he was 10 or 11. And he goes, his dad comes up to me and goes, Nick, he's hitting the ball too hard. He goes, he needs to hit it softer. And I look at him and I go, your son is 10 years old. Eventually they're going to fall.
Yeah.
If they're not falling, if you're truly hitting it hard right now, as there's a fly ball to the warning track.
Better
so
be
there
tagging.
we got it right
Better
there.
be tagging.
Oh,
He's
thank
tagging.
you. Thank you. We just got a gift from the bar. Anyway,
is that
this is the transfusion. This is the transfusion.
All right.
But nonetheless, if you hit the ball hard, they're going to fall. Like that's where baseball is baseball still.
No doubt. I mean, and you get a story like Jack Sprocket.
Yeah.
Right. And this is the beautiful thing about baseball. It keeps you scratching your head, right? Because as we're talking about how many home runs are being hit, juice balls, this or that. I mean, Jack Sprocket goes out and he throws a no-hitter.
Yeah.
What was it, in May? Late April?
Potentially, I think late April. It was late April.
Well into the season.
Yeah.
Throws a no-hitter against the future Fayetteville regional champs, and it's like...
Made it look easy.
It was special. That was a special night. Special night for all of us, not just Jackson. But, I mean,
how did you guys celebrate that night?
Just,
come on, KP.
We just, had a couple waters at the crib.
At the crib. We stayed at the crib.
No, we didn't. We had a good time.
What are some places? Where'd you guys go?
That happens very
I know.
rarely.
I know. Where'd you guys go?
Variations.
I mean, we can give shout outs.
Shout out Variations, baby. That's where Emmett Olson had his draft party last year. I love Variations.
Okay.
Shout out Variations.
We got some questions on the text line.
About Variations?
No, not Variations.
All right.
We got this from Dirty Tony and the boys. Do you prefer a turf field or a natural field? First of all, we'll answer that one before we ask the second one. Turf field or natural field?
Okay. High school me natural. 100%.
Wow.
College me natural until I became a reliever. Turf all the way, baby. Turf all the way, because natural as a reliever, you're just asking to be, pitching out of a freaking crater on a natural mound. I mean, because correct. Starters will go out, and that's the thing why I like, first few years of college as a starter, it's like you go out, you dig it up as, however you like it in whatever spot you like. When you go out there as a reliever, you better be ready to pitch on the freaking far left side of the mound or the far right. Hell, maybe even behind the mound or behind the rubber because, that place is dug up. It's dug up. But so I'd say college, I started leaning towards turf just as a pitcher, but as a player, I don't think it gets any better than, I don't even care if the grass is knee high. It's nothing beats a natural baseball field.
Speaking of dirt, or natural. Oh, talk about Overbeek. I want to hear from your guys' point of view about Josh Overbeek, because the dude's number one uniform was always dirty. But then number two is we heard him in the post game after your guys' final game just talk about just how he felt about Nebraska as a program, felt about the season, felt about you guys in the locker room. What kind of teammate was Overbeek?
Well, I told him, I think after our first game, that I really love the way he competes. He brings a fire and intensity to the field every day, and as a teammate, that's something that you want out of all your guys. So that was obviously really appreciated by all of his teammates and me as well. It's special, especially as and like we talked, the landscape where you can be really individualized and selfish kind of about your results. And so that was really a breath of fresh air when he came in and was so team oriented. So really appreciated that.
I would like to point out here in this game, North Carolina has allowed the bases to get loaded on 3 walks.
Hey.
3 walks. They have 2 outs in the top of the first inning.
It's 1 pitch away.
One pitch away. All right. Is that always the mentality?
I mean, come on. You know what they say. If you're successful 3 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer.
That's right.
Pitcher got the advantage here. This guy's tensed up. He knows the situation.
What,
so is this pitcher. He's a freshman.
So, okay, from a pitch, we talked about the scouting report.
You want me to talk you through this, Nick?
Yeah, I would, because we talked about the scouting report.
He just threw a first pitch ball. Either he's going to give up a cookie here, or he's going to throw a ball 2. Because he's a freshman pitcher. He's a freshman. They're all the same. That's right. That's the constant in baseball. Either gives up a cookie or he throws a ball here.
And that was a cookie.
No.
But he called it a ball.
It was a ball.
Okay, let's okay, so that was probably a little bit of a change. I mean, it looked like a little change because it had some pronation.
All right, so here's the deal. The freshman,
you gotta make
head
a pitch.
is going a little bit fast.
Got to settle in.
2-0 pitch. He might lead this one over the harder ball. Throw ball for 3.
There it is. Okay,
2-1 count.
So what we talked about the scouting report from like the hitter's point of view, you can put it in the machines and it'll dice it up however you need to do it.
Yeah.
From a pitcher standpoint, how did you guys, whether it was earlier in your career or now later in your career, how did you guys prepare for a lineup that you were getting ready to face?
Well, we would watch video, see their tendencies as a lineup, each individual hitter, see where his weaknesses were, where his holes in his swing were, and just kind of get a feel for where we need to attack them and the tendencies they have as an entire offense and how to attack the team as a whole was really our approach to it.
So 3-1 count here. You got to lead. You got to give him a strike, and the hitter knows
it. Good pitch
it.
to hit, man. And so full count. This is, you see what he's made of. I mean, truly.
So from the pitcher, we know it. 1 pitch away, right? Get something competitive.
Yeah.
From the hitter's standpoint, and we saw this in Stillwater and all season long, the ability to hit with 2 strikes and not leave runners in scoring position is crucial when you get to the postseason.
Well, I'm assuming he's going to throw a fastball, and if he misses arm side high, I'd be worried for North Carolina. But he made a great pitch there, and he fouled it off. So,
nice little low and away.
This is great. This is great action to start a World Series, no doubt.
Okay, but back to that, right? So what from you're sitting there going, all right, Virginia, here you have it. You have an opportunity to get some guys in top of the first inning.
Virginia needs a strike here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's a tone
it feels like a missed opportunity.
Tone's absolutely. I mean, 100%. It's the first inning of the World Series.
So here comes the 3-2. We can't. And nice strikeout by the pitcher. Good bounce back.
That's spectacular. That's the game within the game right there. I mean, that is the scoreboard doesn't change a bit. You could see it from a Virginia standpoint. I'd say, you know what, we just sucked them to throw 30 pitches.
Yeah.
North Carolina, that's a huge missed stop, and that's a momentum swing. We'll see what they do in the bottom half here, because if they strike in the bottom half, this could be a lopsided game.
We need to talk about the game within the game, because the casual baseball fan might not understand what we're saying. Because I mean, let's call it what it is. A lot of people feel like baseball at times can be boring, but I don't know if you're like me, KP. I love those games.
See,
I love those boring.
No
games.
doubt. And
we got to get to break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off. Let's talk about the game within the game when we come back.
No doubt.
All right, let's take a break. Happy hour. We're here. Blur Events, Tailgate, 12th and Cass Street, 1 block south of the stadium. Nick Sander, Kyle Perry with you. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Want to contribute to medical advancements and get paid for your time? Join the clinical trial at Velocity Clinical Research. Participants can receive compensation, access medicines in development, and get study-related care at no cost. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. Help shape the future of medicine. Visit velocitytrials.com.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel with Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Cola of Lincoln, a proud partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today. Herrick Services takes this time to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. We hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the dads in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care. The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Copple. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados, plus Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville, $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at CoppleCars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today. A chance of showers and storms late in the day, otherwise increasing clouds with a high around 90. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low around 67. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny with a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clark for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
By now, most of you know how important the Honda of Lincoln sales and service team are to the Lincoln market. Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear from Honda of Lincoln to tell you about the great news they just received. Andy, please tell us all about it.
Each year, the Lincoln Journal-Star has an award program called the Lincoln Choice Award, where the customers in Lincoln get to choose the best places to do business. Great pleasure, I get to announce that Honda of Lincoln has won the award for buying new cars, used cars, automotive repair, and even oil changes.
That is amazing, Andy. Any more good news?
Yes, there is, Charlie. We now have more than 100 new Hondas in stock, with hundreds on the way, and a huge selection of all makes and models on our pre-owned lot.
Incredible. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Look at me. This plane is going to Jamaica.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here at the Blur Tailgate at Hilton, Omaha from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're here Friday, which is today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, getting you ready, taking you through the early days of the College World Series. North Carolina has a 1-0 lead on the Virginia Cavaliers as they were able to take advantage of some pitches left over the heart of the plate, took it opposite way as well down the left field line, and were able to do some damage here in the bottom half of the first inning after the freshman pitcher got out of a bases-loaded jam with 2 outs in the top half of the inning. But by the way, Blur Tailgate, Hilton, Omaha, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're here, but they are open until midnight every single night. Corner of 12th and Cass Street. You can't miss the big white tent for Blur parties on the south side of the street. This is the 12th annual tailgate with them. They have an all-inclusive bar and buffet, 18 televisions showing the live baseball games, and multiple seating options, the couches, the high tops, the low tops, whatever you want. They have it. If you want to stand, you can do that as well. You can buy tickets at the door, or you can go online to blurevents.com/Omaha, and you can find out the prices. There's multiple different options of prices where you can have cash bar, another, water, beer, wine is included, lunch and dinner buffet, soda, water, beer, wine, mixed drinks. There's different packages, different levels for whatever you want to spend, but feel free to go online, blurevents.com/Omaha. Nick Sainert, Kyle Perry with you as we continue to kind of get you rolling through the 1 o'clock hour on the block with Strick and Austin. We'll take you from 2 to 4 per usual. All right, KP, let's talk about the game within the game here, right? Because we were watching in the bottom of the first, and we agreed there were some really good pitches thrown by Virginia. There's some even in the top half of the inning by UNC where, man, the strike zone, it feels like the college game is much more, feels like a professional game now in terms of strike zone, in terms of just the inability, the margin for error is so small nowadays. What's that like from your point of view with like the umpire strike zones? Walk us through that.
Well, from a hitter's point of view, right, I've had multiple talks with our hitters. Josh Caron specifically, because he's pro hit. He's a catcher, and he's a hitter, right? So you're working for the umpire pretty much 24/7, right? And so he says the plate's the plate. You throw it over the plate, it's a strike, right? But then at the same time, you got to think about it. 22.5 inches is what you're working with.
Yep.
Black to black. Okay. And if you miss that 22.5 inches now, it's a ball.
Yeah.
It is a ball. There's no such thing as a pitcher's pitch anymore. And that's an umpire to umpire, situation there. There's some umpires that are going to give it, right? But here's the deal. To umpire at this level, at the CWS, these umpires throughout the entire year are getting graded.
Yeah.
On the same exact rubric or whatever you want to call
scale
as big league umpires are. The plate is the plate. That's your zone, and that's never been the case. Never been the case, and that's a huge change to the game that really flips that script more towards the hitters, right? And it's a much better game to watch if you ask me as a fan now.
Okay.
Because you're getting a lot more offense. You're forcing the pitcher to come over the plate. But as a pitcher, oh boy, that ticks me right off.
Well, it's frustrating, right? Because we saw it there with Virginia. Made a couple really nice, what I would categorize them as ground ball pitches, right? You try to induce a double play opportunity and with a guy on first and second base with less than 2, and yet it was a ball. And I think when you mix the zone, the new zone, with the improving player, we talked about it last segment or earlier in the show. I don't know, the time's getting away from me. But we talked about how the players just overall have gotten better. That is one of the things where we talked about it, KP. you got to go into the game as a pitcher with a detailed strategy of how you're going to attack the opponent. And you mentioned it in the break. It changes. You completely go away from that within the first couple innings. Is that correct?
I mean, if it's going well, if it's going well, you're gonna stick to it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, it hits the skids in the first. I'm not a pitching coach. I'm no Rob Childress, but I mean, and Rob's got a, unbelievable track record, and he has, stats, and he is a genius in his own mind.
Yeah.
Of how he operates as a pitching coach, and I got no experience of doing that. But I mean, if it hits the skids and what you want into the game, I mean, that's just kind of, simple to think about, I guess. If it doesn't go well, you got to abandon it at some point, right? But and if these offenses are seeing you, well, it's hard to stick to what you came into the game with, right? And so it makes it a little difficult. But I mean, hitting a baseball is so hard. You can only do so much as a pitcher when the offenses say they approach the game.
Yeah,
it can go if they approach the game, back on their heels, not swinging their bat, ready to walk. And see, that was a pitcher's pitch right there. I'd say that'd be called a ball more times than not. But if these hitters aren't ready to swing the bat and the pitcher isn't ready to throw strikes, and the pitcher's all around the zone, one, he's not going to get favors from the umpire, and second, they're gonna take the pitch more than likely than over swinging it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's different, but it's the same.
Here's a question for you. How many pitches do you need to be successful at the college level? Because here's the thing. I think 5 years ago, if you asked this question, you needed two. You need to really be able to establish a fastball, and then you need some sort of mix-in pitch, whether that's a really nice change, circle change, if that's a slider that has good horizontal movement, even if it's a cut fastball, right? Something that has a little bit of movement.
You need to change speeds. You need to go left to right, down.
How many do you need here nowadays?
I'd say three. You need 3 pitches to land for strikes to be a successful pitcher. And even when you do that, you can still get shelled.
Because that's the thing is if you have one pitch working, after you might get through a lineup once.
Yeah.
But at this level, especially, you're good luck getting through it twice.
I mean, it's a high level of ball, man, and these guys are making adjustments, and you make adjustments on the fly when, say, your season is on the line, the game is on the line. I mean, it's a tough game to start with, and I think that's what makes it so entertaining now. It's so flip of the coin. Is the pitcher going to get out of this? Is the guy going to hit a freaking grand slam there? I mean, right there at the top of the first. I mean, it could have went one of two ways, and it went the pitcher's way, and that's what you get for honoring the game and throwing it over the plate.
You mentioned it. Guys are just big nowadays, right? Like, did you find yourself towards the back end being like, dudes are just look different? Like the eye test, we always talk about it. I'm not saying intimidation piece.
Yeah, no, I mean, I noticed that when former Husker third baseman Jack Stile came into the program, I was like, what are they feeding these guys? I was a junior when he came in as a freshman. I'm like, what? This kid's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same as Nebraska in my eyes. What's in the water there? He was the football quarterback for his high school, and it was like, okay, but quarterbacks don't look like that.
Yeah.
Just built like a Greek god. It's crazy. And I've had numerous teammates, and that was probably one of the first cases where I'm like, dude, what are you eating, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, nowadays it seems like that's how they come in. Tucker Timmerman this year.
Yeah.
Calves are the size of my quads. It's unbelievable.
Maybe that's more on you.
That's that be it. It might be.
That's more on you.
Could be. I mean, I've never been a great eater.
Yeah. How was the nutrition at Nebraska?
Spectacular. I mean, I put up 35 pounds while being there for 6 years.
In muscle?
Well,
just overall.
No. I mean, overall, but the way I got a metabolism that just works, man. It
must
works.
Be nice.
I know it, but at the same time, when you're trying to put on weight, man, it's tough because there are plenty of meals where I'm just like, I'm not hungry, man.
How much throughout in this with Coach Childress, Rob Childress?
Yeah.
How much does he in harp on adding velocity? Like, what's his philosophy to you guys?
He doesn't. I mean, he is such a developer.
Yeah.
And how he coaches his kids, and I mean, he just has these like checkpoints for every single player that he rewards and will pat you on the back for. And I mean, he's
so
such a good coach.
What were your
in that.
checkpoints this year?
I mean, he always wanted me to get to 200 by Christmas time.
Okay.
I got the 200 by Christmas time.
Nice.
Once I was at
That
200,
helps
I
with
was
the
like,
holidays.
dude, it does. It does. It absolutely
you were
does.
able to just
And
eat.
so I got to 200 by Christmas time, and I'm like, dude, I feel heavy. And,
Yeah.
and and as the season, progresses, once we got into the new year, and the weight just kind of seems to fall off, and that's pretty much with everybody. It's really hard to maintain weight going into the season, just with all the stress of the travel, the playing and all that good stuff. But no, it's it's really difficult. But Nebraska makes it easy, and I will say that it makes it easy on you to go in and meet your nutritional needs. This is a guy that my body was just so stubborn where I'm not making any excuses for myself. I mean, that's just I'll tell you when I'm hungry, and I'll eat when I'm hungry. But that's probably where I hit the skids with my own weight. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man.
Here's the thing. So Stricky's in the building.
Yep.
We're gonna cross over with Austin and Strick in just a moment. Are you pro or anti-shift?
Oh man, you can get my boy Drew Christo on the freaking
because
show.
Here's the thing.
Because he's pro shift and I am anti.
You're anti because we just saw it because we saw it with
you see
in
that
the bottom of the second. Good piece of hit.
80-mile-an-hour chopper.
Yeah, just nice
3
little
hoppers.
chopper.
Hit the dirt 3 times.
You're darn
Isn't
right.
that great as a pitcher? Seeing the ball get hit 2 feet in front of home plate.
Are you an MLB The Show guy?
Yeah, I am.
So that's one of those where you just nub it off the bat to the left side on 76 miles per hour.
I'm over the shift. Mike Sirianni's our infield coach.
Yes.
Danny Marcuzzo was our infield coach. Love them both.
Sirianni, a new one. Well, I just ended up 1 year.
Fantastic guys. Great coaches. And I'd tell them to their face to quit doing the freaking shift. But that's fine. That's the way they coach. And I mean, that's the way 99.9% of coaches coach. Yeah. And that's probably why I'm not coaching infield.
Some of them are egregious shifts.
I mean,
you got 3 infielders
as a pitcher,
to the right of second base.
It always seemed like, ground ball, you got what you want. Base hit.
Well, we saw it with Cags in Stillwater. I mean, okay.
DC made an incredible play there, didn't he?
He did. But we saw it with Cags where it was the game. It was the last game.
Oh yeah.
Where he jacks the one that goes 119 over the right field wall.
Yeah.
But then Nebraska shifts and they have 3 guys to the right of second base because that's what the percentages said, and understandably so. But then he hits one off the wall to left field. Some guys you just can't shift against.
Yeah.
So it's just.
I mean, that guy.
He's so good.
It's tough to start on him because it's like
How do you pitch to those guys?
Well, I mean, I faced Adley Rutschman my freshman year.
Yeah.
He was a future first overall pick. He was.
Do you remember how you did against him?
I do.
How?
4 of the most competitive balls you'll ever see thrown to a hitter. It was
that damn strike zone.
And then looking back, I would have attacked him the exact same way.
Yeah.
Because I think he hit like 750 that series with about 4 pumps.
I think Nebraska got one of those games.
Incredible.
I think you guys went 1 for 3 that week. I don't
know.
No,
we didn't. We went 0-4.
0-4. Dang. Well, that's awkward. No, getting the bunts down. How important that is that in baseball?
Crucial. I mean, that's a team play right there, man.
All right.
Getting the bunt down is doing it for the guys in the dugout, man.
No reason not to do it.
But that's a huge thing. Also, you got to make sure the guy that's got the bat in his hands has got his head screwed on tight.
Yeah.
His head's in the right place and make sure he's the right guy to get down the bunt. Because I mean, if you got a guy that's centered around himself, laying a bunt down, it ain't gonna get down.
Yeah. KP, man, we got 1 segment left. Can you believe it? We got 1 segment left.
Make it our best.
Let's make it. We'll see about that. We're distracted by the baseball going on.
It's great baseball, man.
Yep, here we go. It's a 1-0 game. North Carolina leads by 1 run. Bottom of the second inning. 1 down in the bottom half of inning number 2. We'll keep telling you about it. We'll wrap things up. We'll bring in Austin and Strick for the crossover. Get you ready for On the Block. Coming up next from Blur Events here in Omaha on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Testicle Festival, Saturday, June 15th at Round the Bend Steakhouse off I-80, exit 426. Swing out 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. for some testicle fun. Free admission for military personnel.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel with Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Cola of Lincoln, a proud partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Hay season is a race against time. Win that race with an all-new 1 Series round baler from Landmark Implement. The all-new John Deere 1 Series round baler is a revolutionary leap in baler technology that captures near real-time moisture and weight data that can be analyzed through Operations Center to improve your bale quality and farm efficiency. Are you ready to upgrade your hay equipment? Contact your local Landmark location for full details on the new 1 Series round baler and experience the Landmark difference.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner. Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms late in the day, otherwise increasing clouds with a high around 90. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low around 67. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny with a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cluck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Look at him and tell me there's a God.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour one final time. Nick Sainert to my left, Kyle Perry. KP, my man.
KPZ.
Can't say thank you enough for doing this. It's been
No
a
doubt,
blast.
Bro. No doubt.
It's flown on by. Maybe we got to.
When you say it's been a blur,
It's been a blur, KP. What a blur. But I mean, maybe we have to do it again.
No doubt.
Let us know on the text line,
great.
464-5685. And I say this because I know Rico's listening.
Yeah.
Should KP replace Rico?
Whoa!
Shots fired. Go ahead, Rico. Come on, say what you want to say.
Would be nice.
There's no bullpen here. All right, calm down.
There's no bullpen.
All right, I throw.
Oh, so we DFA'd you and KP's getting the start?
I throw all 9 innings all the time. Watch out.
How about that?
I love it, Rico. Start where you finish.
Yeah,
or finish what you start.
Finish what you started. Hey, yo. So we got Austin and Stricky. Gentlemen, what's up?
Man, I'm getting it started.
We're back. You did get it started.
Pop it.
Literally.
Start we finish, Stricky. Start we
on
finish.
fire, man. Blur is on fire once again.
Yeah.
If you were looking for food, you just missed it. They're about to shut that down. You're a
For
little
now.
too late for now. But the alcohol is flowing.
You found that out right from the get-go.
They've got jacuzzis with ice in it. And
yeah. Cold tubs.
couches and hammocks and games and oh my.
The baseball games too.
Yeah, it's all going down right here in the Blur.
This is the place to be.
Yeah, no question.
I mean, come on. You going with the
for baseball and love. If you're not going to the game, this is the place to be.
Well,
No doubt.
if
you are going to the game, here's the place to be.
Here's the thing. So DP is not here right now because he is sitting the first row behind the Virginia dugout. So we kind of have to watch for DP here. But anyway, nonetheless, here's the thing. So Stricky, you chose the White Claw hard seltzer mango. What's the thought process with a seltzer, first of all?
Well, first of all, it's only because Jay Foreman was trying to tease me.
Yeah.
And I said,
I have nothing against seltzers.
I don't care what you say, Jay. If you're not giving me an athlete, I'm drinking Claw.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. There's a higher alcohol volume.
That part. Tell him, JP.
We're still there.
I mean, it is. It's,
what about your Busch Latte? Where's your at?
I
over with.
You still got drink tickets. We got nowhere to be.
Yeah, true. I got a water here.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, love Busch Light, but I mean, he's got a point. I mean, that's one of my buddies, Spencer. He drinks seltzers, and that's always his argument, and it's always fair. So it's like,
Yeah. I don't have anything
drink
against
less.
seltzers.
It's probably healthier for you, but
they
I'm
don't
a
make
beer
you
guy.
feel so
I'm a
bloated.
beer guy. That's
Well, see, now that you're done playing, you might have to switch to seltzers
Yeah.
because quickly that beer gut shows up.
No, I'll hit the treadmill enough to where I can afford more years of it.
Is it
but
cardio? Is
I don't
that
know.
the answer?
I don't know. It's my metabolism. I mean, I'll eat when I'm hungry. Like I said, I'll eat when I'm hungry. And
Boy,
I mean, So
I wish I had that.
I know, right?
It was never the case, especially for me. It gets there, and look, the crazy thing is, it only goes to one place, KP, right here.
Yeah.
Like all the
I'm
other
chilling
stuff
everywhere
has
else.
a little
I'm chilling
something to it.
everywhere else.
Right
I
here.
got to get two things rid of: the stomach, and I got to get back to bench press. I got to start doing the chest
Yeah,
lifts.
just work it out in the chest.
Yeah, is it the chest?
I don't know. I've never had a chest. I've had a terrible chest.
Yeah.
Literally my chest has been terrible, but I mean, I've just been a little wiry.
How's your chest,
dude.
Tricky?
It's getting back. I'm in there. It's getting back.
I'm on the Kyle Perry camp on this one here.
Well, no, I gotta say, my partner Austin's a little bit on the bird side.
Yeah, no,
I got a little something, man. A little bit of birdie.
I can run.
Tweet.
Yeah.
I can run. That's it.
Do you enjoy the running piece?
No. That runner's highs always threw me for a curve. I mean,
I
don't
never
know
have
what the hell
gotten
that
there.
is. Never got there.
Here's the
KP,
thing.
how did they do that?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. It's like with a runner's high, if I don't get it within the first 10th of a mile, then where am I going to get it?
Yeah, never.
I ain't
So
getting there.
Never.
So when you have to do your running routines,
Yeah.
like you're just like you fight through it and then you start kicking
Well,
in, or how does it work?
As a pitcher, a lot of it's like
yeah.
sprint work.
Arm
Super
because
explosive.
it's arm
Okay.
Quick. But I mean, we used to do a 6-minute mile.
Yeah.
And we did training for that.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like you're like welcome to the team type deal, you know.
Gotcha.
And so like to see how mentally tough you were, and I ran a 5:21,
That's
and that
really
that
good.
was pretty good.
That's really good.
But I
Yeah.
mean that sucked. It was
Yeah,
terrible.
it was
One of like
tight.
the worst like stressful body experiences I've ever had.
So to
Terrible.
us on the basketball side,
Yeah.
like going into training camp, we had to be able to do 10 up and backs
Yeah.
within like I can't remember the exact time, but we had to do it within a certain time. And you talk about mentally,
Like 1, 2, or 1, 2,
One.
3.
no, 1, 2,
Oh, dang.
3.
Woo.
Yeah,
Terrible.
it was miserable.
Yeah.
But that's all you really had to get through. If you
Yeah.
could get through that, because if you didn't, you had to. So
Right.
like we had Oliver Miller was on our team. If you were you might be
Nah,
too
that
young.
rings a bell.
Oliver Miller, big Arkansas guy.
Sure.
And but his time wasn't our time. Guards had a certain time, but he had to do it until he could actually make it during the season. So
Terrible.
go fight that one time,
Yeah.
get it done, and get out of there.
No doubt.
KP, let's talk about high school baseball real quick
Okay.
because there's a lot of talent in Nebraska.
Yeah.
There is, right?
There is.
There was when we were playing. Now it's just able to be broadcasted on a larger scale.
Sure.
Conditioning, though, in high school was not fun either.
No.
What was Millard South's baseball program like?
I didn't ever condition for baseball. It was all basketball. Basketball
Oh,
was
that's
year round.
right, that's
Basketball
right.
was year round.
That's right.
I was
forgot
always
about
working
that.
out basketball year round, and when it came to conditioning, like it would be basketball first, to where it was like whatever we were doing for baseball wasn't like it didn't need to happen.
And how did you feel when you played Pius
In what?
baseball?
It sucked because all they did was bunt.
There we
So
are. It's that
as a
conditioning.
first
It's
baseman,
that conditioning.
No,
What
it
can I
wasn't.
say?
That's not the condition.
No, it is. It is the conditioning. So you talked about the miles.
Basically, you're saying there was
our,
no mashers.
Our
I
conditioning.
mean, he didn't mash.
Like,
He was
yeah,
bunting.
that's terrible.
I
That's a terrible
genuinely,
argument.
like, I remember playing like Shea Shanneman, and
Yeah.
I remember going up against Christo and stuff. I don't remember playing against you, but here's the thing: is our conditioning piece was. You know, obviously from Lincoln. So people listening in Lincoln will know this. So Pius 10th on 70th and A Street.
Yep.
Our conditioning, every now and then, pitchers had to do this after they pitched. Run up to 70th and A by that Amigos on the corner there. Go down to South Street on 70th to South.
Dang.
We called it the square, where it was then 70th and South to 56th and South, then up to 56th and A, and back to Pius. So we called it the square, but it was like a 4.5 mile type of thing.
That'd be kind of fun.
It was painful, but that was our winter conditioning.
Yeah.
Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That was what we did under Coach Sharp. Coach
Yeah.
Sharp's not there anymore because of reasons. But anyway,
Yeah,
'cause
Millard
youth
South.
sports.
We had this hill on the football stadium at Buell.
Yeah,
and
they just updated
I mean,
it.
it's a very steep hill, and we just run hills.
Hills
Increase
were
the number
horrible.
each week.
Yeah. So
I mean, it'd be on a Friday.
Increasing
so
the
right-
number
right-
of time.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and so the football game would be on Friday, and so
yeah,
you know, early in the fall we'd be doing these hills.
Yep.
And I mean, it'd be cool because then you'd be like, oh, after this we get to go,
Yeah.
you know, do whatever and watch our boys play football. You
And
know,
you guys
go
are
to the
good.
student section, whatnot. But at
Pius
the time,
didn't have
oh, it
much
was
of a
terrible.
football team.
Hills suck, man. So. But I mean, and then basketball shape. That's kind of, and I think part of the reason, and I'm a big advocate for when it comes to high school to play multiple sports. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, basketball kept me skinny.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, I mean, it kept me skinny. So I mean, if you want to talk about, I don't think any of my nutritional needs at Nebraska weren't met.
Yeah.
It was the fact that I came in at such a bag of bones that that it was a tough start.
I got you. All right, gentlemen, what's coming up on the show today?
We will talk about Keisei Tomonaga's deal with Under Armour. Kind of a big deal. He signed
Curry brand.
Curry brand, indeed. Yep. First international athlete to sign with them. That's kind of a big deal. Get to know your CWS teams. Rank the CWS monikers. And then will it be a better or worse College World Series with all the familiarity?
That's right, because you got, teams like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 6, number 8, something around there, number 10, 12, or I'm probably over 8 teams by now. But then you have the preseason number 2. All right, KP, that's the music. That means our time is over.
Absolute pleasure,
It's been
Nick.
a pleasure.
Thank you, man.
There it is, KP. Nick Stannard saying
Thanks,
so
Eric.
long.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
again to Rico back in the 93.7 The Ticket Studios, pushing all the buttons over the course of the last 2 hours. Thank you to you guys chiming in on the text line. Continue to do that. We're out here. Blur Events. Get your tickets now. You can buy them at the door. You can buy them online. We're going to enjoy some beverages. Who knows? Maybe KP and I will get some cornhole in, but we're actually going to watch this baseball game. It's a 1-1 game between Virginia and North Carolina. For KP, Nick Stannard saying so long. Talk to you guys on Monday.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.